Okay, so today I will be discussing integrated marketing communications by reaching systems 1 and 2. For a podcast called Search Engine. So Search Engine's audience is made up of curious, intellectually engaged individuals who enjoy deep dives into trivial and complex questions about modern life. They enjoy conversational journalism as well. You can find them, or where they typically spend time online is on podcast platforms, on YouTube, social media platforms like Substack as well. So this audience typically finds new podcasts on podcast app directories, discover pages, YouTube thumbnails, recommendations, critical acclaim or reviews on magazines. Those magazines include Time Magazine, The Economist, Vulture, etc. Okay, so this podcast System 1 should be relating to visuals, tones, humors, headlines, things like that. They evoke fast, emotional, intuitive responses from people. So some things that align with this brand in System 1 would be titles that have a hook. One of them on there where what happens if all cemeteries go out of business. Visuals would be podcast cover art. Their cover art for their podcast is really interesting. It's like mechanics, someone climbing up mechanics, which is really interesting, really thought-evoking, eye-catching. Also, the tones of curiosity, wonder, and the humor of wit that is displayed through the host, PJ. Okay, so System 1 matters for audience growth because their response to these emotions can entice and evoke curiosity and click to see more about the podcast because they feel like it's interesting simply based off those emotions. As for System 2 is more slow, deliberate, analytical. So it's usually containing explanations, credibility, reviews, logical appeal. So System 2 is what helps people decide and hopefully commit. So this podcast Search Engine uses and can continue to use magazine reviews, critical acclaim to feed into their credibility. And that matters because it can entice or inform people that if you love this type of podcast, you may also love Search Engine, which can give them also more of that recommendation. So these factors of like critical acclaim, credibility, recommendations from high reputable sources from System 2 help people decide whether to listen and then whether to commit to listening consistently in the future. So my tactics, the first one would be pop-up events. So basically providing questions and allowing the audience to become part of that conversation. So kind of almost like maybe having like a little mic stand with questions you can pick from, and you can look at one, read it, and then give your own take on the complex question. Would appear in areas with many listeners already based off data analytics, or areas that have their target audience who don't currently consume their content. This would target System 1 thinking. It's designed to humor people, evoke curiosity and interest, and helps people notice the podcast. This also supports the brand's awareness and marketing. My second tactic would be an article in a magazine or a news source detailing different podcasts in this genre with search engine included, obviously. It would appear in magazines like I mentioned before, Time, Economist, Vulture. It would target System 2 because it allows people to compare before committing. These reputable sources add credibility, help people decide if they want to commit, in a very conscious and deliberate way. My third tactic would be social media content. So the video would show up on either Instagram Reels or TikTok, as this is a place where you can find their audience. And it would immediately have some type of hook or anything like that, to get people hooked in, like just catch their eye and make them interested and intrigued into what the video is about. This would target system 1. It's automatic, it's effortless, it drives emotion, and it stays consistent with the tone of the brand and makes people feel or notice something. My fourth tactic would be a partnership with a celebrity. Specifically, I chose Billie Eilish. She has a very large audience that can align with parts of search engines target audience. Her debut album was a question, which was, when we all fall asleep, where do we go? I think that is a perfect type of question to have on a podcast like Search Engine. This could be a video posted on YouTube where they both the host PJ and Billie engage in some type of discourse about this question. This celebrity endorsement would also provide credibility. It maintains the brand's image. It gives a small bite of what the podcast is with one of your favorite celebs, or kind of almost not a household name, but she has a lot of recognition. Also allows other users to decide if they feel like this podcast would be something of interest to them. My fifth and final tactic would be ads with eye-catching imagery, like their podcast cover art of the mechanics and someone crawling up it. This would go on social media platforms, again, where their audience already exists. This would target system 1. Users can quickly consume and become intrigued, decide if maybe go and learn more if they want. Makes them stop and think, even if momentarily. And then it works together with the other tactics to entice audiences to research more and engage with the podcast. So these tactics reinforce each other because they combine both dual process theory, both systems, which would be dual process theory, to maintain consistent messaging. Media strategies designed for both systems are the strongest. Consistency shows that the brand knows and understands themselves and holds true to their values without wavering. Sorry that I'm going a little bit longer, but an assumption that I'm making is that people want a podcast that is inquisitive and conversational. I would want to learn next about what the response to the partnership with Billie would be, potentially doing more of this, if it's driving traffic to the podcast. I think this plan would succeed in hooking people in, but when it comes to comparing the podcast on other news sources or magazines, people may choose to check out a different podcast than this one, which could be the fallout.